So Biggie released the album Life After Death on this day in 1997, 28 years ago. First of all, that's a badness in itself, but we'll get into that. So stick around because I'm going to do something different with this album. It would have been easy for me to say, let's talk about the main track. So let's talk about More Money, More Problems. Let's talk about Hypnotize and let's talk about, I don't know, Sky's the Limit. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to list five, I won't say underrated tracks, but five of the less popular tracks of the album. But five songs which I really, really liked. I liked when I was a kid and I still like now. I listened to this album today. So that's the track list for this album. And as you can see, it's if you didn't know, it's a double album. And I count this album as one of the holy trinity, which of double albums, rather, which came out in 96, 97. So this All Eyes on Me by Tupac and Wu-Tang Forever. But this was a very, very good album. And like I said, that's the track list. So have a look. Were there any songs that you liked? You never know, I might mention them in the next 2 minutes or so. But let's go straight into it.
Armed and dangerous, ain't too many can bang with us. Straight up, we no angel dust. Label us notorious.
So Notorious Bugs was the first track on disc number 2, and I think it's one of the best tracks on the album, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Biggie's flow is ridiculous on this song, and he matches Bone Thugs and Harmony brilliantly. There was really no way that I couldn't mention this.
South, threw that back out in the parking lot by a Cherokee and a green drop top. And I don't stop until I squirt.
I do like Nasty Boy. I know a lot of people know the version that was on the Duets album. I think it was on the Duets album. Was it Nasty Girl? But this was the original. And one of the best things about this song is the intro. If you haven't heard it, go listen to the intro now. It's actually quite funny.
Fuck you, leaving is my last resort. You see, 9 out of 10 niggas ain't shit. 1 out of 5 niggas suck your dick. You mad at me?
So when I first heard this album, this was actually one of my favorite songs. I really, really like this song. I think Little Kim absolutely ripped her verse. And again, as a teenager hearing this, you're like, yeah, I like this. Really like the chorus as well.
Your reign on the top was short like leprechauns as I crush so-called willies, thugs, and rapadons. Get in that ass, kick fast.
So I listened to this again today, and I quite like Kicking the Door. One of the things that I would say is that apparently there was a lot of subliminal disses in this track. Now, I didn't know at the time, but apparently it was aimed at Nas, aimed at certain members of the Wu, and other people as well. What's your thoughts on it? Do you think this was a undercover diss track? It may be that I just completely missed it.
It's the Notorious. You just lay down slow. Recognize a real dawn when you see one.
And then going back to Cali, and I remember first hearing this song. I remember first seeing the title, and I was like, ooh, considering with everything that was going on. But I really, really like this track. I could have mentioned some other tracks, but I'll stop there. Were there any other tracks that you liked? Let me know in the comments. But can you believe this album came out on this date in 1997? Madness.